Ciao, welcome back to the channel. Wonder what's going on here? Well, I'm an Android developer, but I've been using an iPhone and I've been an Apple user for Mac and iPhone for years now. So obviously I had to watch the WWDC24 keynotes in live. Here's what I think about it as an Android developer. They started off with Apple TV Plus, which is not a topic I'm interested in, so I'll just skip this one for now. Although they have major updates for it, so if you're interested, take a look at that. After just 4 months of being released, visionOS received its first major update to visionOS 2. It's limited to a few countries for now, but I was excited to see that Vision Pro will be released into UK later this year, in actually just a month. I'd love to get my hands on one of them to test it out. The most exciting feature as a developer will always be the connection to a macOS device, and which now will be able to extend its display into an ultra-wide that bundles two 4K monitors side by side, wrapping around you with a nice curvature. iOS 18. This is the section I was more interested about. They started talking about personalization, specifically in the home screen. Icons can now be positioned wherever you want on the home screen, but the grid remains fixed to 4x6. Icons are now responsive to light and dark mode, and there is a tint mode available to tint your colors. The color is selected by default based on your background, but you're free to pick your own color. This later update is basically material you on Android, but there is a catch. As of now, Android lets you specify a legacy icon which will be used regardless of the user's setting on their home screen. Apple doesn't allow this and forcefully applies a filter on top of your icon, coloring it with the color selected by the user. The control center also gets an update, both visually and functionally. There are now groups of controls like the media and home control. There is a control gallery from where you can pick your own controls to place in the control center. This is pretty similar to the extended control panel that we have on Android notification for years. The difference is that Apple is opening their API to allow developer to place their own control action there. Hidden applications are now a thing on Apple, and more privacy things are coming, such as more granular access level for contact and Bluetooth collections. iMessage received reaction to messages with every emoji possible, and scheduled message as well. Another thing that it received is rich text in messages with bold and italic format. iMessage can also use GPS to send and receive messages, and it's end-to-end encrypted. Email received on-device categorization and the digest, which agglomerates multiple emails to give you a summary of the emails easy to consume. Map, Wallet, Journal also receive a few updates. Nothing to mention here from a developer perspective. It's all about user impacting features. This is not to say that there's nothing interesting though. Almost everything that they announced as a user will be a huge upgrade. iPhones now have a gaming mode, which many Android devices already have. It cuts out all unnecessary background tasks, optimizing the game performances and cutting out notifications as well. Photos also receive a few updates for organizing your photos, which is a complete revamp of the app. Here again though, it's all about user, nothing from the developer perspective. WatchOS didn't get many announcements. The first one is training mode, which allows you to track the intensity of your workout. A new app, Vitals, show your most important health metrics and will alert you when something is off, also giving suggestion to what it might be the cause for the off-chart value. Next up is iPadOS, with not many exciting updates. It's a well-known thing that the downside of the iPads is their OS, since they're no more powerful than many PCs, but lacks on the software side. iPadOS received the same user customization from iOS 18, themed icons and positioning where you want them most. Screen sharing also received two big updates. You can now draw on the other person's screen to indicate something or even ask to control their device remotely. Calculator is now available on the iPad. Nothing special until you use it with the pencil. This is a game changer. The calculator becomes a free writing app where you can write your own mathematical equation with the pen. The app will recognize your handwriting, solve the equation, and write the result with your own handwriting where it needs to be. It also applies lives if you apply any changes to the equation. This feature is called Math Notes, and it's bundled inside the Note apps as well. The new macOS operating system will be called macOS Sequoia. iPhone mirroring is the device mirroring we have inside Android Studio on steroids. You can completely interact with the iPhone wirelessly. But that's not all. Your Mac will now receive your phone notification, and the controls of the device are performed by the trackpad for swipe gestures and the keyboard. Windows management becomes native. There won't be any need for third-party apps to arrange your windows on the screen as you prefer. Safari received a bunch of updates, the most outstanding one being battery performances compared to Google Chrome while streaming videos. It also gets videos with enhanced feature. It basically centered your video in the entire windows and defaults to picture-in-picture as soon as you click away from the video itself. If you're into gaming, Mac will receive some new games in the future, and going on, it will be easier for developers to port their own games to Mac, expanding the Mac's library a bit, but don't get your hopes too high. And last but not least, Apple Intelligence, a smart rebranding or artificial intelligence. The trigger animation to start using Apple Intelligence is really similar to the one we got from Google, with the borders of the phone being highlighted with colors. Apple Intelligence won't be just a language model. It will be capable of generating text, images, and also taking action for you inside your apps. But the most unique thing is that it will understand your personal context. Apple Intelligence can now organize your notification by priority. It can help you rewrite your text, summaries, or reviews your grammar system-wise. So every application that has a text inside of it can handle all those things that Apple Intelligence will provide. The core feature is on-device processing. Apple Intelligence will be aware of all your data, but the latter will never leave your device. The latest M chips allow for a combination of language and diffusion models. This on-device processing might seem limited, but it's not. Private cloud compute is what kicks in as soon as the device recognizes that its capabilities are not enough to solve your problem. When this occurs, it sends the task, and only the task at hand, to Apple's Silicon Cloud servers to resolve it, without storing any personal data on the clouds. This is branded as a brand new standard for privacy in AI. I don't know if here by AI they mean Apple Intelligence or artificial intelligence. What do you think? This also allows Apple to integrate with ChatGPT to answer your question, or any other language model in the future. For now, the only partnership is with ChatGPT. This means that if Siri or Apple Intelligence recognize that it's not capable of solving your task, it will ask you if it can send your request to ChatGPT in order to solve the problem for you. This is a question that you will see every time AI, Apple Intelligence, tries to reach out to ChatGPT. You're in full control of whether it does it or not. This presentation then shifts to how they will integrate Apple Intelligence in all their product. Starting, of course, with Siri. Siri will be now more capable than ever, and as they said, it makes it feel seamlessly integrated with the system. And that's all I thought was worth mentioning about WWDC 2024 as an Android developer, but an Apple user. I made some comparison with what we Android developers / user have already on Android, and yeah, I think that Apple is doing the right step in the right direction, even if, as we already know, it comes a little bit later than what Android does almost all the time. It will be interesting, in my opinion, to see how many companies now that Apple forces, for example, a themed icon for their home screen will get a themed icon on Android as well. I've seen many apps that just default to the legacy icon on Android just because they lack willingness to create an icon that can be themed by the user with the color that they want. That's all from me today. Thanks for watching, and till the next time. Peace.